Alright, hello everyone. Today we have Kawakami Princess, Seyun Sky, and Yenom Muteki to talk about. Before we begin, I'm going to talk about some future banners to go and look at first. Right, we got Manhattan Cafe, we got Symbolic Rudolph Festival, as well as Ghost City Festival. These are not very major banners to be pulling on in terms of cards. None of them are particularly super amazing, but there is one event to talk about, which is the Sounds of Autumn event, that Yukino Bijin Guts card. Highly recommend that you do not click this card again. This is a very nice card for your Make a New Track scenario. It has 10% Guts bonus on it, and Guts builds in Make a New Track are actually legitimate, right? I do not believe in Guts builds right now, and Guts builds in Make a New Track are just absolutely insane. This card here, this Yukino Bijin Guts card, is very strong. The only downside is that later on in Make a New Track, you can't get No Stopping Me for free anymore, so you may want to go and bring the Yukino Bijin Wits card, so you can't run these two Bijins. But both Bijins are quite usable in the upcoming Make a New Track scenario. Alright, other than that, we go on to the actual major banner, which is going to be Kita-san Black plus El Condor Pasa. After that, we have Dober, godparent of Late Surges. And then after that, we have Christmas Oguri, also a very strong horse. Some people theorize that she might get rug pulled, just like Esmaru. That's a possibility, I will not deny it. And yet, I would still use this horse. This horse is still very strong. In dirts in particular, this horse is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so in dirt, this horse very strong. In mediums, this horse will still be a very top tier contender. Will be able to win just like every other horse, even if they do rug pull her. Otherwise, she will just be one of the strongest horses for medium, no question. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this. Let us move on to the explanation of Kawakami Princess first. Kawakami Princess is primarily a late surger horse with medium aptitude. Every single other aptitude in her kit is not A. Alright, it's not A. So that means that if you're in the Haru scenario, you actually can hunt down late surger skills, medium skills very easily compared to any other horse. Because how the aptitudes work is that they only give you skills based on your A aptitude or based on the card. So if the card has no hints possible, then they will give you the aptitudes. So this is actually very good for sniping for medium and sniping for late surger skills from our Haru. So you can actually make her pretty damn strong. Notably, you will need to have a final straight on the track that is optimal for this horse, because this horse will run down on the final straight. So on some tracks where the final straight is all the way at the end, where there's basically no need for any more speed because it's basically game over already, this horse unique tends to become L. But if there is a final straight and it's an optimal position, then this horse is very good. Alright, because of that potential speed carryover, potential mid-leg speed skill. Alright, although the mid-leg speed skill is quite rare. It's really quite rare. So it's mostly just going to be praying for a track where the straight line is nice so that you can speed carry over, but most of the other times it's just going to be a finishing skill where it's like Triumphant Pulse but it's weaker than Triumphant Pulse. Right, after that, innate skills wise, we do have Nimble Navigator by default, we have Unyielding Spirit, we also have Outer Swell. This horse has a lot of very good gambling skills and late surger skills. Late surger straightaways, No Stopping Me, as well as Rising Dragon. So this horse, it has No Stopping Me inside of her. That's actually significant after our Haru passes. In our Haru, we currently can get No Stopping Me for free on every horse. So the No Stopping Me inside of you doesn't really make any difference in the Haru scenario. When we go to Make a New Track and onwards, where No Stopping Me is not really easily available from the Haru scenario, you do not really you do not really want to bring the card either. Yukino Bijin is not a very good card, but if you really want the skill, then you need to go and hunt down that card. Then horses with it inside of them is very good. Alright, so that's why this No Stopping Me will become an advantage later, but not now. Right, Rising Dragon, always solid enough. Prepare to Pass is available. From Stretch Chase is available. Outer Swell is available. This horse is generally a very solid late surger who is not going to be, well, as strong as some of the other really strong late surgers. It's not Majiro Ryan by any means, but it is a solid enough horse that if you just gamble, you definitely can win with this horse. So this horse is not too good, not too bad, definitely on the middle side. I will see her a lot in B tiers and A tiers because the unique generally is not going to be so usable on many tracks, but she is going to be okay enough that you'll be able to use her and still pull off some victories with her, especially if you like her. Right, after that, we move on to the Yenom Muteki and Seyun Sky. At this point, if you don't know Yenom Muteki, you might be living under a rock. Yenom Muteki is one of the best parent cards because this card here gives you ramp up, gives you home stretch haste, gives you tail held high, gives you play times over, gives you medium corners. In the current meta, a lot of horses already have access to a lot of decent gambling skills. We have Head On, we have Nimble Navigator, we have Umastan, we have our Taiki Shuttle new buff version, we have Marozensky, we have Dober, we have Ryan, we have Seyun Sky. So a lot of positions have different gambling skills already, right? So now how to get to those gambling skills? We need to get good position, right? We need to hit number 6, we need to hit number 1, we need to hit number 3 or 4, we need to hit number 1 to 5, we need to hit number 1 to 3. So as like positioning is very, very important. Team comps matter quite a bit in terms of helping your horse to hit that position. So mid-leg speed skills, very, very important, because you need to fight for the mid-leg. You need to position yourself as good as possible. If you late start, you might be cooked, but having a bunch of speed skills can sometimes help to save the run if the enemies are not too powerful. Alright, so having the mid-legs is going to be very, very powerful. This card will always remain quite relevant until you have very, very insane parents who already have all of the skills inside of them. Then you just pray for inheritance into your actual horse. Alright, that's pretty much Yenom Muteki for you. Seyun Sky is quite notable for being a very, very strong stamina stat stick, but besides that, doesn't really give anything else. She has no training bonus. She gives you an okay amount of race bonus, not really too big or anything like that. She also has good specialty priority of 65 and friendship bonus of 35% at max limit break. It's 32 and 61 at your 3 limit break, which is also very, very solid enough, right? This card here also has another, I think, 20 frequencies, which means 20 extra specialty priority in the unique effect. So you can add another 20 to your specialty priority, right? So this is a very, very solid stat stick card for stamina only. It's like vodka but for stamina. It gives you a crazy amount of stamina. But notably, this card is actually really solid for the runners, because this card is going to get dodging danger on the first event, which a lot of front runners really, really want. A lot of front runners really want position sense. They also really want dodging danger. Having these two skills is going to be very, very important, because you need them to help you fight for the front as a front runner. So having a card like this to guarantee give you the dodging danger is actually very, very nice to have, right? You're going to use Super Creek. If you need to have a second stamina card, you can swap in this card over here, then full inherit your power. Or you can also just use different combinations of decks depending on the type of CM you're going into. Alright, this card in general is going to be quite useful for the longer distances, but generally less useful for the shorter distances, because we do not need a stamina card in the shorter distances. So using this kind of card to go and hunt down specific skills is going to be quite painful. But for longer distance, if you want to make your dodging danger grind a little bit easier, this is a card that you can definitely use, especially if you are a front runner enjoyer. Right, so that's pretty much it for the two SSRs over here. In general, I would not recommend any F2P'er go and pull any of these banners here. These banners are generally for those who have the luxury to go and pull. They just want to have a good stat stick, they want to main front runners, they want to have just a very strong Yenom Muteki card inside of their decks, because their decks are already like, I already have SSR here, SSR here, SSR here, so why not put in another Yenom Muteki and get all that mid leg so my horses become even stronger than they already are, right? So this is more for the luxury players, more for the whale players. For those F2P'ers, you're probably going to be skipping this, going for El Condor, Pasa, and Kitasan Black, right? Other than that, if you're Oshi gamer, feel free to skip all these banners and just hunt down for your Oshi. That one is no problem. I know there's a lot of you who want Manhattan Cafe at every cost, so that means that you all are going to be saving and just pulling on that banner regardless of anything I say. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video here. If you need more min-max, if you need more suggestions, feel free to go into the Discord and then ask around in the Discord. A lot of people here are quite seasoned players, so you should be fine already. And if you need to DM me for questions, go to the Ko-fi and DM me there. If you want to ask me on streams, also can, YouTube or Twitch live streams. I do that every Saturday or Wednesday, or whenever CM is on. I'll be streaming more constantly when CMs are on, because there's something to go and stream. Alright, that's pretty much it here, guys. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your pulls if you are going to be pulling on any of these banners. Thank you and goodbye.